Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 10 vital minutes all about kids and accidents.
At the time, Mandy was nearly 10 months old, and she was stood beside me in the kitchen. I made the tea. And walked over here to get the cups.
Every year in Britain, 4,000 children under 5 years of age are admitted to hospital with scalding injuries, and some of these children die.
Lift your arms up, sweetheart.
This is what Mandy's skin looks like 1.5 years after her accident and after extensive skin grafting.
Stand there. As her bust develops, she'll almost certainly have to have some more operations there. Yeah. And of course you can see that she's lost the nipple. She hasn't got a nipple on that side now.
Yes, she's noticed that herself.
Probably the breast tissue underneath is undamaged, and it will develop as a normal bust, but it might be damaged.
Now, that scald accident only took a second, and it will affect Mandy for a long time to come. Now, we know that the most amazing and marvellous things can be done via plastic surgery in this day and age, but it would be much better if we could prevent the accidents that need it in the first place.
The first thing to point out to parents who have small children is that as soon as they bring a baby home from hospital, they should start a habit of safety at home. All things that are boiling, anything that's hot or boiling, if they start it right away, then they don't underestimate the baby and think that they can't reach it or they won't reach it. Well, as soon as I made the tea, I push it as far back as I can from the unit, where she can't reach it, where even the older one can't reach it either. Make it a habit, if anything, be fanatical about it, but it's better than to be careless.
I was preparing Ian's lunch, put the kettle on, and I was making some instant potato for his lunch, and I'd made it. I turned to go to the side of the kitchen to prepare his meat and vegetables, and as I was there, he'd obviously reached up and pulled the flex down, and he started crying. All I can say is, if you're ever in doubt about anything, do it immediately, because we were aware that he may possibly do that when he got a bit older, because we'd seen him reaching up there not very long before. So if ever there's anything that you see, do it immediately.
So kettles are particularly dangerous because water can scald up to half an hour after it's boiled. Now remember, whenever you're cooking, always turn pan handles away from the front and use a cooker guard. Better still, keep young children right away when you're working at the stove. Use a gate or a playpen. Now, just look at this, which embarrasses me acutely, having to handle baby dolls and things like that, but this is one of the most dangerous of domestic situations. A cup of hot tea or coffee for mum or even dad and the baby. The attention wanders, baby grabs like that, over goes the cup, and that baby is very badly scalded, believe me. This dad showed us how his daughter's neck was scalded when he was having a cup of tea. And here's another child who pulled a cup of tea over himself.
She said, I brought the key from the kitchen into the dining room. He was, and just put his hand on the cup of tea and it on his body, and that's it.
Most people love a hot bath. Babies love to play about. Nice hot bath, But did you know that the difference in temperature between a comfortable bath and a dangerous bath is only 5 degrees? This water in here is about 38 degrees, and that's just right for a baby. Beautiful, beautiful. But it takes just about this much water to raise that temperature, 5 degrees, and there you have got a scald, and that's very dangerous because a scald in a bath can be mortally dangerous. Sadly, this little boy tragically died soon after his 2nd birthday from scalding in a hot bath. His parents felt it might prevent a similar accident if they told us about it. They think that while Michael was playing on the floor in the living room, he turned up the hot water thermostat without them realising. Michael's mother tells us what she usually did.
I think I used to put the cold on first, but on occasions I had put the hot bath on because the water didn't run so hot for all of the time. And, you know, after it had run hot for so long, it started to run cold. So the bath water then was just right by the time it was ready to get in. I was putting the clothes away, and Michael followed me up the stairs.
And I was immediately behind him. And he heard the sound of the running water. And straight into the bathroom, playing about, you know, running here, running there, running everywhere. And then, in a flash, it was hands on top of the bath and in. But as soon as it was in, it was out again. You know, it was a second. In and out in a second.
As I took his jumper off, it was like taking another jumper off underneath. It was his skin.
It happened on a Tuesday, and Michael died in hospital the following Sunday. So, what can we do to stop these tragedies? One thing we can do is this. It's a feature in this country that when taking a bath or running a bath for somebody, we always turn the hot water on first. The majority of people do. Wrong, very dangerous. Train yourself not to do it. Train yourself to turn the cold water on first. Now, a scalding accident. What happens if you have a scalding accident in the home? First of all, you've got to be very careful what you do immediately after the accident, because mishandling can cause almost as many problems as the scald. And this is what our expert told us that we should all do.
Well, the best thing to do is to promptly cover the area with cold water. Many accidents, of course, happen in the kitchen, and cold water should be readily available in most households. Again, it's important to comfort and reassure the child, and obviously important to get the child to hospital as soon as is possible.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you a story about how not to do things. A case of a mother bathing a baby in an enamel bath, and the telephone rings, and to keep the water warm in the bath, the mother, would you believe, puts the enamel bath with the baby in it on the gas ring to keep the water warm. The baby finishes up very badly burned. You probably find that amazing, but accidents come from all over. It's your responsibility to think about it, and it's your responsibility to do something about it. Please, play it safe.